also a lot mentally. You've gone through a lot of changes. How have you dealt with that?
Just rolling with the punches, man. Just trying to be as positive as possible, just learning how to compete my entire life since third grade with wrestling. Just nothing goes perfect, You gotta just roll with the punches. Nothing ever works the way it's supposed to be planned out, and just do the best you can.
Improvise. Yeah.
Oh, you have to. This sport's crazy, man. For one, anything can happen in any fight, and then your weight cuts are never the same. Preparing for a fighter's never the same. I think the judges' scorecards aren't the way you see it, so everything kind of is fucked up, But you just got to go with it, man.
Speaking of that, how does that split decision still sit with you that you had to Dominic Cruz?
I thought I won the fight, man. That's why I want that fight back. That's why I want Cruz. I felt I won that fight, and I feel like I have his numbers. So yeah.
What do you make of him against Garbrandt?
I think he's gonna be a little too elusive for Garbrandt. Garbrandt, you kind of have to stand in front of him like we have to do with Lineker. I think he's a little bit faster than Lineker, but he's a little one-dimensional. And I think Cruz is gonna take advantage of that.
Are you worried that if Cruz lost a close decision that there could be a rematch and then you have to wait even longer?
Dude, I'll be ridiculously pissed at that if that actually isn't happening, because my fight was very controversial with Cruz, and it was a back and forth of who won that one, and I didn't get an immediate rematch, So if that does happen, yeah.
So you feel like regardless of the outcome of that one, you should get the next time?
100%, yeah. I definitely. I thought I already should have it, but that's the way it goes, man.
How quickly are you going to be getting done with, all your post-fight stuff to watch that fight?
Yeah, it always takes a little bit to go get checked out by the doctors and do the whole deal, so I'm sure maybe I'll miss a little bit of it. But yeah, I'm going to be interested in wanting to watch it, So maybe I can hold the doctors off while the fight's going on, because there's still a fight after that, so we'll see.
You've been a champion, so I wanted to know what you make kind of Ronda Rousey not being here during all the media, and she's fighting for a belt and not doing the appearances. What are your thoughts on that?
There's no way I could put myself in her situation, She's been busier than any fighter ever. She's had more pressure on herself than ever. So my comparison to being a champion is nowhere near what hers is. So I don't blame her. She's been through the ringer. She's been doing movies and been very busy. So maybe it is time for her to maybe focus on her own skills and focus on the fight, and we'll see how she comes out.
Is it fair to you and the other fighters though that you're required to be here, but she's not? Because I'm sure you'd rather be cutting weight, training, not being here answering questions.
I think the UFC is kind of messing up by letting it happen. Dana's always said that no UFC fighter will ever be bigger than the promotion. It'll be no bigger than the UFC, and you're seeing that happen. You got Conor McGregor, making his own calls and showing up when he wants to, and Rousey not showing up. So I think it is opening the doors for more fighters to start doing so. But I like you guys. I like showing up and doing this stuff. I don't mind it, man. Otherwise I'm going to be sitting in my room watching some TV, kind of gets my brain off of it. Talk myself through the fight. So to each their own. I'm here promoting myself, and I'm doing my job, but it seems like the more you do your job, the less you get treated well in the UFC. So maybe I should be a jerk and not show up and fail some drug tests, and maybe I'll get treated better.
I know you said that to me, with everything going on with the association, how the UFC's treated you. There was an interview, I think Sean Shelby did something where he said, there's no guarantees. We got Caraway fighting Rivera. Does it make you angry that, this is not, no one's coming out and saying this is a number one contender's bout? Because it feels like there's no way this wouldn't be a number one contender's bout.
There should be no way. It's all up to the fans, you know what I mean? That's really, it all comes down to the sport and not making this thing ridiculous. And if the UFC does do that to me, then everyone's going to see that they are being biased and they are trying to ruin my career on purpose. They're trying to hold me down. All I can do is continue to fight, man. I can't overstress it. I feel like I've done what's right, not only for myself but for all the fighters in this world, and making the right image. And that's all I can really do, man, is stand up for what I know is right.
Thanks, TJ.
Yeah, I can, man.
When you look at John Lineker,
yeah,
he's obviously a good fighter. He didn't get here by accident.
No.
But I know when we talked before, we kind of talked a little bit about the Vanderlei Silva factor.
Yeah.
Is that ultimately, basically the main thing you have to avoid with a guy like this? Just don't get caught in those flurries?
Yeah, pretty much. He wants to cut you off and back you up against the cage and go through a crazy flurry and hope to break you. He tries to break his opponents with his pressure and making you tired, but I'm too technical for that, man. I already see way too many holes in his game. Holding his hands at his hips and throwing hooks. That's what he's got.
Is there, without insulting the guy, is there just a blueprint to beat John Lineker that the last couple guys just haven't used.
Yeah, man. I mean, the guys have just been too afraid of his power. You know, I mean, they've been. I mean, John Dodson would have beat him if he wasn't afraid. If he had actually fought the guy, he would have beat him. You know, but he was afraid to do so.
TJ, do you feel that you have to just get a win, or you have to win spectacularly?
I mean, no, but I always want to come out and win spectacular, man. I want to be a fan favorite for the way I fight. You know, not so much how I'm talking, but more about what I do inside the octagon. And I've always put on a show. I've always come out to finish someone, and so that's what I'm always going to do, man. I'm always going to be looking for that finish.
Would this be for us that see you from your career go up through the whole dominant? Is this kind of like a stay busy fight with your eyes still on that prize?
I don't make enough money to sit on the shelf, man. You know, I mean, I don't make enough money to continue my legacy and to continue my career without making money. I have to fight to make money, and I'm not going to sit on the shelf and wait and let Cruz continue to run from me and try to retire without getting that rematch done. You know, so I guess I can continue to fight. Got to continue to get paid.
Of course, you wouldn't make that money, but would it be safe to say that you kind of chasing Dominic in that belt? Or if somebody, say for instance, Cody beats him, would you go after Cody?
No, I mean, I want the belt. You know what I mean? Like, that's the ultimate goal. I mean, I don't blame Cody for getting the shot. He's done what he's supposed to, I guess, by getting there. You know, I mean, everyone's goal in the UFC should be fighting for that belt. You know, I think he's done it a little bit sooner than he should be getting it, but it's not his fault. You know, I blame Dominic Cruz and I blame the UFC for letting this happen.
Do you think he's ready for that?
I don't, you know, but anything can happen, man. I mean, people have said that I wasn't ready for Barao either, you know, so anything can happen, but I don't think he is.